Hello guys and welcome back to Wisco. We are now in episode 5 and I finally added a capital city map layer and a province map. Woohoo! Anyways, let's get right into it. So first thing we see is the Californian state expand even more outwards, trying to get all of the land that they could possibly get. Meanwhile, other countries are going to start picking up the pace in their expansion, so California doesn't take everything. Such as the Caribbean country is going to expand outwards and upwards to here before eventually stopping. These two countries over here are actually going to work together for the first time in a little while. Start exploring out into these areas with some help from the Caribbean as well. Going to explore these islands, they're even going to explore that. Eventually, all of this will be explored, as well as many parts of this area. Boom. The Californians are also going to explore up to here and reach Alaska before it gets way too cold for them. They also meet up with this country, but they're not really interested much. Eventually, they've explored most of the continent. Crazy, real crazy. Anyway, this little country down here hasn't really been doing much, which is why it's finally going to make its move and start expanding outwards. It's actually been saving up money to buy this. What the hell? Bruh. Anyways, so we finally see this country make a move, and they're actually going to expand upwards a bit, and eventually they're going to buy this land from the country, which is what they've been doing this entire time, saving up. So yeah. Anyways, we see the Californian country expand a little bit more outwards until eventually stopping and taking like the first break in 500 quadrillion years. But we see something happening. We're going to see a few provinces break away from this Californian state in protest of the massive expansion in recent years. The Californian team isn't going to be too happy about this, and they're going to send in some troops to try and stop this massive movement, which is very quickly coming up to their capital. Many of their army was stationed in this area, so they're going to be able to take back this province and that province and this province, committing a lot of war crimes. It's going to make some people mad, but not enough to get involved. Meanwhile, this country is going to continue to rebel in different areas, even rebelling in places that they've already rebelled. They're even going to start rebelling inside the Green Team for some reason, which is kind of stupid. And they also start rebelling in these areas, which is just explored. Yeah. Whew. Anyways, the Californian army near the capital is going to start advancing and marching through these countries, killing anyone that dares try and rebel, all the way until they push them back all the way to this area, which is when the Green Team will also intervene and take into here, take all of this back. But this country isn't going to go out without a fight. It's going to take out all of this. It's going to take over all of these areas here, and they're going to have a stronghold in this area of the country. The Californians are going to try and break through, where they have some success in this area over here. But they're not really going to be able to push through, eventually letting this one fall as well. So they're going to do a vote with all the states, see if they're in favour of letting this happen. And most of them say yes. So let's see how it gets divided up. In this treaty, we see that this new peachy country got most of the land they wanted, Now it looks pretty good. So yeah. Anyways, over here, we're going to see a new country. Oh, wrong layer. We see a new country form up here. And they're going to be the new, I'm just going to call this Miami or whatever. So yeah, they're going to start here and they're going to start expanding around this area, taking over many areas around them and consolidating them as a pretty cool country, if you ask me. Pretty cool country, if you ask me. Gonna take all of this land. Eventually it's gonna look something like this. They're even gonna cross over into this area a little bit. Boom. Next up, over here, we're gonna see this olivey team start expanding outwards into the areas in this area. But they don't really do much of it. They just, they do it. They just, yeah, the borders look something like this now. And we're also going to continue to go up the coast over here. And this way up here as well. Anyways, over here, a group of travellers that want to start their own empire. So they're going to go into these areas of Brazil, and they're going to form themselves the Brazil, like actual Brazil. So let's see. We have the Brazilian team up here on this area over here, and they are Brazil. We are going to Brazil. Yeah, it's going to be Brazil. Boom. So yeah, now we have the Brazilian team starting up. So yeah, now we have the Brazilian teams here. Over here in Africa, we're going to see this country over here expand downwards and more downwards and downwards and downwards until they can't go any more down. And from here, a new country is going to form. Well, let's make it this colour here. Yeah, it's going to be a new country. The light blue team, South Africa. I'll call it South Africa, yeah. South Africa is going to start here. And it's going to be the second country in Africa, completely independent. And they're already going to be the largest. Very cool. Meanwhile, this country is going to start expanding outwards a bit, hearing news of the Californians and stuff. They're also going to hear about news of this lake over here. And they're eventually going to meet up with it and start a new area over here. It may look weird, but I don't really care. It's my Quisco. So, we're going to discover all the islands and take over all of the islands, while also consolidating that area. I feel disappointed in myself. There we go, now we go. Anyways, over here, they're going to explore upwards. Eventually going to meet up with this area over here, which they haven't seen before, obviously, because it's not discovered. All they've heard is rumours, but now they've actually seen it. They're going to explore some islands eventually until they get bored and they go back home. So now they're going to start to take over the area. They're going to take over all the areas it's ever wanted. Yahoo! Continue to expand. Now we have one very large country, which is not able to hold its territory. So we have a green country breaking away over here. And they also break away in this area over here. And finally we have one breaking away in this area here. And all of these want to break away and form their own nation. So that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to quickly gain support from many people in this area. And they're going to get up here. And they're going to send some diplomats up to there and say, hey, you have this part now. Leave it to us. I'm just going to agree to it. And seeing this movement, these people over here are also going to break away. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Leaving the red team looking something like this. Kind of weird, but I'm not going to question it, am I? Meanwhile, over here, we have a little skirmish on the border. Boop. Yeah, we see the Texas team accidentally invade both of these countries. And while the green team is kind of like accepting, like, okay, just give us our land back. This team is not having it, and they're going to start rushing through this country. The Texas team is obviously strong enough to hold them back, but not very well, to be honest. because this country has loads of supporters, like a lot, if you know what I mean. I'm going to go through here, and the main thing they want to get is coast. So to get that, but they're not really going to hold on to it for long because this team is not having any of it. So they're going to go all the way back up here and get stuck. So this team is actually aiding this team. So yeah, I don't know why I selected that colour. So they're going to continue to go into here, and with more Mexican support pouring in, they're actually going to be able to hold that ground a bit. But now the green team is starting to send them supplies, so they're able to push them back a bit better. Going to go up here, but they're not able to break through the border. Well, not enough, anyways. So now borders look something like this. So let's see a treaty here. Let's see what goes on. In the peace treaty, we see that this peach team made a puppet state, and they get free use of water through there, which is their main source of water right now. Cool. Meanwhile, the Texas country has shrunk quite a bit. Over here, we see that the Brazilian team is gonna... what the hell is that? Never mind. Let me try and get rid of it. Die. Yay. So yeah, the Brazilian team is gonna continue to expand a bit, and eventually, borders, they're gonna take over all of this and claim this. And eventually, a little skirmish will go across here, and this team will accidentally invade them a little bit, which activates war. But all four of these people are very close friends, so they're all going to team up on them. And the Brazilian team hears of this, and they're like, let me go jump on this thing too. Jump on this too. So they're also going to invade. Let's see this. The Amazonian team is going to very quickly... The Amazon team is going to very quickly start invading into their territories, doing a quick swoop across the country. Also doing some quick swooping in this area over here, taking over their colony. What they're also able to do is retake back all their land over here. Boom. Next up, we see them start their advance into this country, starting advancing through and taking as much land as they can, very quickly nearing the capital. What they're also going to do is start invading into this area over here. Well, not invade, but take over this area and start invading through there, taking over many of their areas too and cutting off supplies in this area, eventually leading to the collapse of this team. Over here as well, sadly, the Amazonian team isn't going to be able to break through the border. But what the Brazilian team is going to be able to do is make a fail swoop across this area and eventually start nearing the capital. The Amazonian team is going to be able to hold their guard for a bit, but they're going to send a lot of their troops back to deal with this threat, which allows the slaves to push back to this area, and also allow these two countries to push back a lot until eventually it looks like this. And now they're actually going to go on the offensive. They're going to retake this country and occupy them for the time being. And they're going to start their epic invasion of this coast, which goes extremely well and allows them to go straight through. Now they're doing a large swoop. Next up, we're going to see the orange team retake all of their old land and start their invasion into the country, which is also very strong. But then we see something crazy happen. The red team actually joins in to try and take over as much land as they can, because when they see an opportunity to take land, they take it. And they immediately capture the capital, weakening them a lot. The green team has actually been great allies with the red team lately, so they're going to work together. And also going to take this capital. Well, not that capital, because it was well defended, but still, they get really close. So yeah, now they've swooped through the country over here, And when this happens, we're going to see the Brazilian country start going desperately into the country and nearly take the capital, but they can't. And when they see the Brazilians are finally pushing back, taking lots of land away, we see the Brazilians leave the war. So does the slaves union, and so does the yellow team, leaving only this country, which very soon loses to the green team. So yeah, now let's see the peace treaty. In the peace treaty, we see that the green team is back, and not very cool, to be honest. And we also see the red team take over this area. We see the slave union take over this area, and now the Amazonian Empire has like a little cut hole to get to this area because these two have like taken most of the area. But the biggest part is the fact that the yellow team is now the light green team. The light green team is now the yellow team because they controlled this area during the war. They thought, well, they just had to stay here now. So this is their new land. Meanwhile, these countries over here get their old land. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. If you want to see more, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. That isn't a choice. That's a forced thing.